Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's it going? Hey, Lamont, how are you? Good to see you. Sharing this out on my TikTok side. If you just joined a TikTok, welcome in. Give folks a little time to join, and then we will get rolling. I always invite my youngest son on TikTok, and he never joins, but he's always kind enough to like the stuff that I post, which is kind of nice of him to do. Hey, Cece, welcome in. Hey, Tina, how's it going? Hello, Michelle, welcome in. We will get rolling here in a couple minutes. Hey, Helen, how's it going? How are you this evening, Michelle? Halfway home. That's good, Helen. Hey, Dina, welcome in. Enjoying the weather, Michelle. So, how is your weather? Here, it was cloudy all day and around 52, I think, for a high. Tomorrow's supposed to be rainy all day and a high around 50, so it'll be a little chilly out, but that's okay. It's getting to be that time of year where we make that transition from the nice fall weather to the little chilly fall weather. CC, I totally hear you. I cannot wait to be at Disney either. Helen is only going to be 69 on Halloween. That would be almost balmy here. 69. I remember probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, we had snowflakes falling on Halloween. Stormy here in Miami. Looking forward to the cold front coming. Yeah, and you know this, Michelle, better than I do, but that cold front is going to protect Florida from that unbelievable monster hurricane. I feel for those folks in Jamaica. Boy, I really hope that they fare better than I fear. I mean, I can't imagine nearly 4 feet of rain and then the incredible storm surge and the winds. Just going to be horrible. Cece says it's going to be freezing on Halloween in Chicago. Oh, that's all right. Little cool air, put the jacket on underneath the costumes, good to go. You went through Hurricane Andrew. Don't want to relive that. I totally understand that, Michelle. Absolutely. Yeah. I was in Hawaii back in 1992 when Hurricane Iniki came through. So I've got some experience with hurricane, but I can't imagine season after season having to potentially face that. Hey, Renee, welcome in. Driving home from work. Awesome. Always good to see you. At Renee ABC, huh? Little Canadian in you. Love it. And Dina, did you change your name? For some reason, I thought your name Dina was in your YouTube name. Hey, Jessica, welcome in. Good to see you. Single dad, I've seen 3 to 4 tornadoes, never hurricane. Yeah, so I'm not shy about this. I live in Nebraska, so, part of Tornado Alley. So absolutely seen my share of tornadoes, seen my share of blizzards in the winter. I think it's phenomenal that we can have in the summer 110, 115, sometimes 120 degree heat index, and in the winter have 40 to 50 below zero wind chill. I mean, to go 150 to 170 degree spread is insane. But yeah, I've seen tornadoes, I've seen blizzards. I experienced a hurricane. I've experienced an earthquake. I feel like I've seen almost every kind of weather phenomenon that you could have. Jessica, Kansas scared me to live in. Yeah, it can be scary, that's for sure. Single day, and I'm in North Carolina, which is very bipolar. Yes. Tina, thanks for sharing all that information out. I appreciate it. I'm going to give it, gosh, it's already 33 after. I'm going to give it one more minute, then we're going to get going. Cece, I have your questions. Jessica, I have your questions, even though you may have been joking about them, but we're going to tackle them anyway. Connecticut feels the winter pretty hard. Yeah, I'm certain of that. I bet. Helen did finish Cece's bounding outfit. Yeah, it just says Ohio Disney Girl now. And Renee, I think yours is different too. I don't remember at Renee EHBC before. Guys are just trying to test me, keep my wits about me, I guess, or something like that. Just got a sweatshirt and my winter coat on today. Holy moly. Tomorrow it's going to be 50 and raining. I will have probably a long sleeve shirt on and a windbreaker, and I should be good. I find your lack of cheer disturbing. I love that, Cece. That's awesome. YouTube changed the format on us, says Renee. Interesting. Because not everybody's. Although Cece, yours says Cece loves Disney 27. I don't remember that. Helen, your Disney Teacher Life, I recall that. Le Mans, yours doesn't seem to have changed any. Tina, yours is Watercolor Wolf. And has Blake joined yet? I don't know that I've seen Blake yet. You just changed yours to match your username. Gotcha. Renee, sometimes I'm lucky to figure out how to log in. So whether I can remember if my name matches my username or not, I'll have to dig into that one. Oh, good. Michelle, I'm glad to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. That's good. It was only 31 this morning, Jessica. So we have not had a freeze yet here. And probably everybody I asked, they can't wait to have a freeze for two reasons. One, any bugs done, mosquitoes, bees, wasps, that whole thing. The other is the grass stops growing. I am so tired of mowing my lawn. I can't even stand it. I'm ready to be done doing that. I say this and people kind of roll their eyes at me, but I would rather shovel snow than mow my grass. And I say that and I mean it because what happens in the summer, spring and summer? We fertilize, we water so that we can mow, and then we water again so that we can mow again. At least when I shovel the snow, I don't do anything to try to make it come back. Jessica, we have too many inflatables to mow the lawn. So I used to put inflatables out for Halloween. I stopped doing it for that very reason, mowing. The other reason is, of course, I kind of giggled at it every Halloween night. Kids would go running through my yard, and they would trip on the cords that you use to anchor the inflatables down. And then the next day I'd walk through my lawn and I'd pick up candy that they spilled out of their buckets and missed in picking up. So, but stop doing that. Now I sit out in the driveway. I think some of you know this, others may not know this, but I dress up as Santa Claus every year for Halloween. And I sit out in my driveway and I hand out candy, Halloween candy and candy canes. I'll go to my grave remembering this, my very, very first year doing it. An entire family, mom, dad, kids came up all in costumes. And they asked if they could have their picture taken with me. Like, sure, no problem. Month and a half later, open up my mailbox, get out the mail. There's you can tell it's a Christmas card. Just the envelopes are just unique, right? No writing on it or anything. Open it up. And it was that family's Christmas card. The picture that they took with me, that was their family's Christmas card that year. I was like blown away that they took that photo, made that their Christmas card to send out to everybody that they knew. And it was incredibly sweet and kind that they did that. Secondly, it was really kind that they dropped off a card and put it in my mailbox so that I could have that as well. It was really special. I'm totally missing comments on this stuff here. Oh, you guys are just talking about the username stuff. So Helen, no. So this past Friday night, we went to trunk or treat at the YMCA with my grandkids. I didn't dress up in costume. It's one thing to dress up in costume and sit in my driveway and hand out candy. It's another thing to be getting a 2-year-old into a stroller and strapped in and trying to pay a little attention to the 7-month-old. And yeah, having Santa costume on was not going to go well for me the other night. So I did not do that. So anyway, you had a trunk or treat last night, Jessica. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, we could have probably gone, there were 3 of them Friday night. We could have gone to all 3 of them had we wanted to. There was one yesterday at the grade school in my neighborhood. We could have gone to that. I'm sure there's one probably every night this week. So yeah, we could, heck, I could have not bought Halloween candy and just gone to all those trunk or treats and recycled the Halloween candy. Instead, we bought a bunch of Halloween candy on Saturday, I think. And I may or may not have eaten 20% of the first big bag that we bought. Who knows? Something like that. Your brother dressed as Cat in the Hat. I love that. That's awesome, Jessica. Helen, you have great visual. Okay, let's get going here. So, Cece, you are up first. I had Cece asked 2 questions. Jessica, again, you might have been somewhat joking with your questions, but I wrote them down. We're going to tackle them anyway, because that's how I roll. So, Cece, your first question was, if you're at a Disney park and you don't have enough storage room for the Star Wars action figures that you're buying, will Disney ship to your house? I want to make sure very clear the question was shipped to your house. And so I say that, but I'm going to hold that for a second. Pre-COVID, if you were in the parks and you were staying on property and you bought stuff at the parks, you could have it shipped back to your resort. All Star Sports, Pop Century, Wilderness Lodge, wherever, all pre-COVID. When the park shut down for COVID, when it reopened, as you probably know, through various means of social media, and if you were there, it opened in phases. And one of the things that they never brought back was shipping merchandise back to your resort. So that is off the table. So Cece's question was specific. If I don't have enough storage room, will Disney ship to your house? And the answer is absolutely yes. There's a couple different paths you can take. They can ship to your house. Make sure we're addressing this, not to your resort, but to your house. Most stores, understand that there are some stores within the Disney bubble that are not owned by Disney. And so those are probably outside of the realm. But most stores, the ones owned by Disney, they will ship your purchases to your home when you buy them. Or if you're buying and then go, oh my gosh, I don't have enough room to pack all this and take it home with me. You can take all of your purchases, but you have to have your receipts with you to your resort gift shop or to one of the guest services stands and provide them the merchandise and all of the receipts, and they will ship to your home for you. So absolutely, Cece, knock your socks off, buy away all the Star Wars stuff that you want or anything else that you want. And if you run out of storage space, Disney can and will ship it to your home for you. All right, Cece's next question. This is for everybody to answer. Yes, that's right, Helen. Yeah, there's different business centers, guest center locations around the resorts that they will ship things for you. Absolutely. Okay. Question number 2 from CC is, and this is for everybody to answer. So please jump in and provide your feedback. Any cute poses that CC can do with Chewbacca for pictures? So give you a second to consume that question, and the sky's the limit here. Provide your feedback on what CC can do for cute poses that she can do with Chewbacca for photos. Tina says back to back. Or if they have a step stool that you can stand on so that you're back to back and not shoulder blades to his keister. Jessica says do the roar. Helen. Okay, Helen said I looked this up, but couldn't find anything specific to Life Day. I'm a sucker for the classic hug. Helen, that's exactly what I wrote down in capital letters was hug. I mean, there's, to me, hugging Chewie and hugging hugging Sully Sullivan from Monsters Inc. are just like, to me, the two characters you just gotta hug. That's where I'm at. Jessica, oh my God, I'm losing it. Is that because I said the rar? Helen has a great photo of her hugging Chewie. That is awesome. I think the hug is the way to go. Jessica, I'm glad I could humor you with my rar. Helen says to Tina, some of us are too short for that look, for that to look good, the back to back. Yeah, it would be, I guess we'll PG this. Your backside to backside, we'll call it that. But depending upon your height, you might be headbutting poor Chewbacca right in the keister. Probably don't want to do that. That would be a weird look. But yes, would be a cute pose. The back to back, depending on your height, it could be a real interesting pose too. So if you're incredibly height challenged, maybe Chewie to come down on one knee for you. Disney Dad Bod, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. We're going through some questions that were asked ahead of the live. Then I got news. We're going to talk Park Life Live in 2 weeks and 3 days from tonight. We'll be getting together at Disney Springs. We'll talk about that. And then I got a few little game action items for us to do tonight. Helen says, I have headphones in, but I'm laughing so hard the nurse just asked me what's so funny. Helen, you'll have to explain the visual to her later. Maybe you could just lean over and say, headbutt Chewie in the keister, and maybe that'll do it good enough. Anthony, whoop whoop, welcome in. Good to see you. And Jessica says she's so excited. Happy tears. Woohoo. Yes. 2 weeks and 3 days from now, because it's 7:45 p.m. Eastern. So we will, those of us that are going to be down there together, we will all be hanging out, doing the Christmas tree stroll. I'm excited about that. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. For me personally, 2 weeks from right at this moment, I will either still be having dinner with Tanner down in at the University of Kansas where he's at, or I'll be probably driving over to Kansas City, spending the night there, and catching a flight out of KC 2 weeks from tomorrow morning. Yes, 2 weeks, 2 days until you're there, Jessica. That is correct. And oh my goodness gracious. For those that are going to be there, Jessica has 84 cupcakes on order to celebrate Ruby's birthday. Wow. So I probably ought to start fasting, next week for a week and a half until cupcake heaven. And she has stickers. Awesome. Awesome. I think we might have something for Ruby too, Jessica, when we get there. We'll see. You never know. Okay. Jessica, you're up. 200 stickers. Good Lord. 84 cupcakes, 200 stickers. Whew. Okay. Helen, real quick. Did you lean over to your nurse and say, headbutt Chewbacca in the keister? I want to know if you said it and how it went. And while you're doing that, Jessica, we get to your questions. Again, they might have been kind of silly questions, but we're tackling them anyway. She asked, how can she temper her excitement when her trip is only 16 days away? So here are some things I wrote down, Jessica, and you guys please chime in. Absolutely. She's driving near the back. Said it's video. Okay, I got you, Helen. I still think it'd be funny if you leaned up and said, headbutt Chewbacca in the keister. Okay, enough of that. How can I temper my excitement for a trip that's 16 days away? So, single dad kind of hit it, start packing. Hey, Blake, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. I did put down focus on packing. Focus on your must-dos, the things that you, Ruby, your husband, that you guys want to make sure that you do. So focus on those. Make sure you have that written down. I've been dozens and dozens of times, but I'm a huge proponent of the must-do list. Things that we say I'll pick 3 rides at each park that are must-do for me. Lori will do the same thing, pick her 3, and we make sure we do those. And then we have our like-to-dos. Those are our next on our list. So I'm a huge proponent of that. think about, you're going to be gone for a handful of days. Any odds and ends around your house that you need to make sure you take care of before you go. For instance, if you're somebody like we typically go to the post office and have them hold our mail until we come back. So make sure you take care of those odds and ends, things like that. If it's during your trash pickup, maybe a neighbor will put the trash out to you and bring the trash cans back up, that sort of thing. So for me, some of that, thinking about taking care of those things, help to take your mind off of the uncontrollable excitement about Disney. But there are important things that you want to make sure you take care of for sure. You already spent the weekend doing that. Well, then I can't help you, Jessica. I'm sorry. You're just out of luck. Tina, that hey Mike, was that for me? Or okay, no, you retracted it. Like I said hi to you a long time ago. Cece said, write down a list of things you're looking to do. Absolutely. Tina, you can say hi to me as many times as you'd like. No doubt about it. You're a super prepper. That's okay. That's not a problem at all. But things like, like I said, the post office, if you want them to hold your mail, that's something a lot of people to think about. And then they're on vacation. They're like, oh my God, I hope, there's mail sitting in the mailbox. Hopefully nobody, comes along and looks in my mailbox or anything like that. So those sorts of things we are now, so like I have the Weather Channel app on my phone, and I like the Weather Channel app because it will do a 15-day extended forecast. And so 15 days from tomorrow is when I arrive at Florida, at Disney. So you can put Orlando in and it's close, but it's 20 miles, give or take, somewhere around there. Hey, Marie, welcome in. Heidi Marie, welcome in. Sorry, my eyeballs aren't adjusting very well to the lighting. But you can put in Orlando. It's close enough. But Bay Lake is actually the town that is like, boom, right there. And it's very, very accurate. So you can start watching that, because I know that's one of our hangups is it going to be warm enough for just short sleeves the whole time? Or is it going to be, 70 for a high and 50 for a low, and we're going to need longer sleeves for a better part of the vacation? So we're watching. Hey, Brooke, welcome in. We're watching that quite a bit now that we're getting closer to that 15-day window, and watching and thinking about those sorts of things, because it's easy to start packing right away. If it's like when we went in May, you knew it was going to be hot at your blazes, so we could pack 3 weeks out and we were good to go. Now it's like, got to make sure we have the right layers of things that we may or may not need while we're there. The other thing too is we've done this in the past when we've gone in the wintertime. I'm not taking my winter coat to Disney, but we need it back here when we go to the airport, when we come home. So we'll wear our winter coats and then throw them in the trunk of the car and leave them at the airport that way. And then they'll be there when we get back. Dana says, I'm still trying to decide on if I'm doing another park day besides Saturday. We'll talk about that here in just a minute, because I have some news on something that I think is kind of exciting, I think. Heidi, I watch all storms. This Melissa could track to the UK. Yeah, Melissa, Heidi, that is, boy, I was watching that earlier this afternoon. I really feel for the folks in Jamaica. I can't imagine 3 to 4 feet of rain without storm surge, without the 160 to 180 mile an hour winds for multiple days. Those poor folks there. Jessica, you're supposed to be getting snow. So yeah, so you might need to have some layers to wear to the airport, and then shed some of that stuff, leave it in the car so that when you get back, you have it if you need it. No doubt about it. So, okay. So that was her first question about things she can do to temper excitement on her trip. Now, this is how I wrote this down, Jessica, and I know you then kind of clarified, but I just left it with, hey, Robbie, how are you? Been raining all day in Central Florida. Yeah, I saw that. Better than the kind of rain you'd be getting if that hurricane got closer. So thankfully, that thing is going to get steered northeast and away from Florida. How can I continue to work with all my jitters? And when you said jitters, Jessica, I wondered if you meant just like excitement about Disney, or jitters like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about this, or I didn't think about that, or this, that, and the other. So I was curious if you had a specific definition around jitters. Um, but let's see here. Obviously, work on packing lists, things to do on your flight. That's, it's something that maybe you don't think about. If there's things that you want to make sure that Ruby has on the flight to keep her preoccupied, because I'm imagining it's probably what, a 2.5 hour flight, somewhere in that neighborhood. Um, think about any important photos that you want to make sure you capture, whether it's in front of the castle or with Mickey Mouse or whatever it may be. Think about those, kind of that must-do list I was talking about a little bit ago. Got a book ready for us both and coloring. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. That's a great idea. Think about special attractions that you might want to see or do that maybe you haven't done in the past. And that's going to lead into something here in a little bit that I'll get to when we do some Q&A stuff. Like the picture idea. Yeah. A lot of people focus on the rides and what rides I want to do. Robbie, absolutely. If you stay on here for a little bit, Robbie, we're going to talk about the kind of the agenda for that weekend. So I'll kind of give you a couple items that you can, make mental note of, and then you'll know where we're going to be at. And would love for you to pop over and say hi. Brooke says Chat GPT is helpful for figuring out what pictures you want to take. Yeah, so that's where I was going. And darn you, Robbie, you interrupted me. But a lot of people focus on the rides, and that's all they think about. But yeah, the photos. I mean, sometimes the best photos are just the ones that, jump out type of thing. Yeah, so Single Dad said the Belle show near Be Our Guest, Enchanted Tales with Belle. Beautiful show, and I know Ruby loves Belle. So if you guys have not done that, Jessica, you want to make sure you do that for sure. So Heidi, I know the anxiety about the hurricane. You suffer major panic attacks and major anxiety. All you can do right now is prepare for the best that you can, and keep an eye on the weather and see what happens to that storm. Obviously, it's not going to have anything of the strength that it has now by the time it would get across the pond, because it's going to lose the 90-degree temperatures of the water that it's feeding off of right now. So anyway, okay, let's jump into news. Spaceship Earth is now fully reopened. It opened officially on the 25th, although it had soft opening prior to that. Cece said, I'm looking forward to taking a picture with Darth Vader and telling him I'll be his apprentice. I love that. They also announced that those that are going to attend Jollywood this year will get an exclusive ornament keepsake. This has not been officially announced yet, but all signs point to November 8th and 9th, which is next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. 8th and 9th looks like it's going to be when they film the Christmas Day parade at the Magic Kingdom. And I say all signs point to that because those two dates, they don't have Festival of Fantasy Parade listed in their daily schedule. They have it prior to that and after that. So it looks to be the case the 8th and the 9th is when they'll be filming that. As much as I would love to be there someday, I'm glad that's not happening for our event, because it just changes the dynamic of the day. The Festival of the Arts, the dates were announced January 16th through February 23rd. It's a close 1-2 between Festival of Arts and the Festival of the Holidays for me as far as my favorite festivals at Epcot. I wish Festival of the Arts was longer. I wish it lasted longer. I mean, it's only, where did I write that down? It's 15. It's only like 38 days total. I wish it was longer than that. I'd really enjoy that. But for me, and I've said this to some of you before, I think Food and Wine is my least favorite of the four festivals. And I know some people are like, what, are you kidding me? That's my favorite, blah, 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 blah. The reason why for me it's the least favorite is because to me, that's of the four festivals, the one that does not have a visual appeal to it. Obviously, Festival of the Arts has, visuals all over the place. Flower and Garden is gorgeous with everything that they have. And then the Christmas holiday decorations, you can experience that. Food and Wine just doesn't have that visual appeal to me. So that's why it kind of stands out for me. Heidi says, not being a nerd, but Brick Fanatics for Lego is going live in 3 minutes, going to keep multiple tabs open. That's cool. I love that. Helen, want to go to Festival Art so badly. Um, Fast Pass fam, welcome in. You say Flower and Garden is the best. I think it is beautiful. Ashley, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Arts is the best festival. I know I'm such a huge fan. I think it's a great way to kick off the start of the year. That is for sure. When do you think they will open up the mine train? I think Destination Discovery. I think you're talking about Big Thunder Mountain. It is in 2026. They have not even said what part of year yet. So that's I don't see it opening in 2025. I think it's going to be sometime 2026. And the fact that we don't have a date yet or even a sense of when, I think it's going to probably be. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't closer to spring break. Unfortunately. Brooke says, thankfully I've seen all four, but I just love the holidays. Brooke, you can't go wrong with the holidays. That's why I'm like, it's neck and neck with Festival of the Arts as far as it being beautiful. Robbie, first, all of the arts has great Broadway performers from New York. Yeah, I mean, when I first learned of the Festival of the Arts, all I thought of was paintings. And I'm not a go to an art gallery kind of a person by any stretch. So I was like, eh. But then when you see it's not just that, it's not just paintings, it's them doing the painting and doing it upside down and speed painting and the acting and the singing, and it's just so beautiful. Ashley at Holidays is good too. She agrees. You better agree with me, Ashley. I mean, come on now. Okay. I gotta check over here. Helen, I love all the Figment stuff in Broadway. Yeah. Okay. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. There are 25 total dates. If you're planning to go and you've not bought your tickets yet, out of the 25 Christmas party dates at the Magic Kingdom, 9 of them are sold out. So if you're still thinking about going, these are the dates that are still available. I'm going to go the hard way. Still available. November 13th, November 14th, ding, 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 ding. That's when lots of us are going. So if you're going to be down there and want to go to a Christmas party, November 14th, Park Life Live party, we're going that night. November 16th, November 18th, November 20th, November 28th, which is the day after Thanksgiving, or more importantly, the day after my birthday, but neither here nor there. And I think it's the most expensive date until you get right before Christmas. November 30th, December 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 16th, 18th, and 19th are still available. The first party night, November 7th, has been sold out for a while, and the last party night, December 21st, has been sold out for a while. Why aren't there a lot of D23 events in Orlando like California? That's a good question. I think they probably do California because that's where Disney originated. I think it just has a better feel for it there. Single Dad is still yet to see a cast member drawing characters on the ground and water. I've seen it, and it's amazing. The artistry that those cast members have is phenomenal. It annoys me when they're doing it and people are just oblivious and walk right through it. Just drives me bonkers. But anyway, okay. Let's keep going here. There's Christmas tree stroll. For those of us that are going to be there for Park Life Live, it will be going when we are there on November 13th. Santa will be there for visits up until 9 p.m. each night. They will have various acts and singers and all the Christmas feels going on. So I'm totally excited to do that with all of you guys that are going to be there. Dina, I'm getting to you about adding another park day. I saw that starting on the 14th, which is the night that we'll be at the Christmas party, but starting on the 14th, they're going to begin doing the projections on the Hollywood Hotel, the Tower of Terror Hotel, and Snoke will be falling on Sunset Boulevard in the evenings. So I'm going to be at Hollywood on that Sunday, if that appeals to anybody. Or maybe you can go to a different park because I'll be at Hollywood, but I can't wait. The projections on the Hollywood Hotel are fabulous, just beautiful. Yeah, Jessica said if we see it happen, the cast member drawing the characters in the water, we should form a safety circle. I love that idea. Yes, Helen, it will be snoping. All right. Also, for those that are going to be there, and if you're like, what is he talking about? Going to be there, going to be there. We are doing our Park Life party November 14th. Am I getting my dates right? November 13th, 14th, and 15th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you're in Orlando, in the area, and want to join us on Thursday the 13th, we are meeting outside the Lego store at 7 p.m. We will do the Christmas tree stroll together. Anybody wants to get there earlier, we're going to grab dinner at the Polite Pig at 5 o'clock on that Thursday. So Thursday evening, Disney Springs, it doesn't cost a penny to go there. So free of charge, come join us. If you're anywhere near Orlando and want to have a good time with a group of us, there'll probably be 20 of us or so that are there in town for the event. So Thursday, November 13th, 5 p.m. dinner at Polite Pig, 7 o'clock outside the Lego store for the Christmas tree stroll. On Friday, which is the 14th, we will be doing Magic Kingdom during the daytime. And a lot of us have bought our Christmas party tickets for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party that evening. It is a party night. Some of us are going to be there just for the party. Some may be there just during the day and not there for the party. So we have designated 5 p.m. to meet at the Tron sign at the bottom of the walkway for a group photo. That way, if you're only going to be there for the party, you can get there at 4, get back there. If you're only going to be there during the day, you can stay, get our group photo, and then we can go on our merry way. If this interests you at all, I wrote this stuff down today. Wait a minute. What did you say, Jessica? We'll be exploring the resorts that day. Oh, on Disney Springs Day. If anyone wants to meet, join before that too. Yes, perfect. So yeah, there you go. On November 14th, that Friday, for anybody that's interested, the Lightning Lane multi-pass is $32 for the day. The single pass for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is $14, and the single pass for Tron is $22. On November 15th, which is Saturday, we're all getting together at Epcot to enjoy the day at Epcot together. We're going to meet outside of Guardians at 11 o'clock for a group photo. Multi-pass at Epcot on November 15th is $28 per person, and single pass for Guardians is $22. So I wanted to share that. Single dad, is it true we can use Disney gift cards at the Lego store in Disney Springs? It's my understanding, yes. I think I looked that up. Either that or I'm having a weird flashback, but I think I looked that up like a month or so ago, and that was the case. Let me go back and see if I missed any other comments. Let's see here. Nope, I think we're good. Anthony, can I get those the day of or the week before? What is best? Okay, perfect. So, Anthony, you're asking about the Lightning Lanes, multi-pass, single pass. If you are staying on property, you can purchase them up to 7 days prior to your first day for the length of your trip. So if you wanted to buy multi-pass for every day of the parks that you're there, staying on property 7 days prior, you can purchase yours. If for anybody staying off property, it's 3 days before, and you can buy them 1 day at a time. Dina, are we still planning on rope dropping Guardians on Saturday, or should we buy Lightning Lanes? Let me answer that in just 1 second. Jessica, does the multitasking count for Tron and whatnot, or is that ride specific extra? So multi-pass does not include Tron, and it does not include Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Those two rides you either have to do standby, or you can purchase the Lightning Lane single pass for it. So again, single pass for Seven Dwarfs is $14, for Tron is $22, multi-pass is $32 for pretty much all the other attractions within Magic Kingdom for the day, and multi-pass allows you one time per ride that you can book. So if, for argument's sake, you booked Winnie the Pooh for your first Lightning Lane on the multi-pass, you cannot book it a second time later in the day. Cece says, I'm buying a lightsaber for Life Day meetup in Batuu. I love that, Cece. I can't wait to see all your Star Wars action going on. Dina, are we still planning on rope dropping Guardians on Saturday, or should we buy Lightning Lane? Dina, can I pick option 3? And option 3 would be both. I love the ride. So yes, I would like to rope drop Guardians that Saturday morning for those that want to be there. And I wouldn't mind buying Lightning Lane and riding it a second time for sure. So anyway, if you guys have more questions on multi-pass or single pass, I'd love to answer them. You can put them in the chat either place. And if you guys are like, why is he looking back and forth? I have my YouTube channel going over here, and I have my TikTok channel going over here. So that's why I'm looking back and forth. I'm not actually watching a tennis match while we're talking. Anthony, if I'm renting a vehicle, how does the parking prices work? Or are resort guests free parking? Anthony, one of my favorite four-letter F words that doesn't get to be used very often, and that is free. If you are staying on property, you get to park on property at your resort for free and at the parks for free if you choose to take your vehicle. They'll just scan your Magic Band or your Key Pass, or if you're using Apple Watch, just so that they can see that, yep, I've got reservations. I'm staying at All Star Movies, or I'm staying at wherever. Absolutely free. Yes. Yeah, Dina, I want to do both. I would like to rope drop it and buy Lightning Lane and ride it 2 times, to be honest with you. So anyway, all right. Now, so those are multi-pass and single pass prices just for the heck of it. If anybody, wins the lottery between now and then, or hits a slot machine at your local casino, whatever, the Premier Pass for Magic Kingdom is $379 per person. That includes all rides that have Lightning Lane access, 1 per ride, but you can do it at any point in time throughout the day. You do not have to go into the app and make a reservation. If you're walking by Jingle Cruise at 10 a.m. and feel like doing Jingle Cruise, get in the Lightning Lane line with your Premier Pass access. They'll scan your badge and away you go. If at noon I'm feeling like Astro Orbiter, I'm really pulling that one out. Boom, you can do that, whatever the case may be. So Premier Pass is $379, and on Saturday the 15th at Epcot, Premier Pass is $239, and it again includes all rides that have Lightning Lane access. So there you go. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go through our itinerary for the week. On November 12th, if you're there in time, so that would be Wednesday night, November 12th, we are going to get together at All Star Movies inside the food court at 6 p.m. to celebrate Ruby's 8th birthday. It's her actual birthday on November 12th. And as Jessica shared, she has 84 cupcakes ordered, and I think she had 250 stickers. So you'll be walking away with your sweet tooth satisfied and some fun stickers. So that's at All Star Movies Food Court, 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 12th. Thursday the 13th, again, 5 p.m., Polite Pig, if anybody wants to join for dinner. 7 o'clock outside the Lego store. And again, anybody that's on, if you're in the Orlando area, going to be down there, you're an hour drive away, whatever, come join us on that Thursday. We'll be at Disney Springs having fun. Enjoying the Christmas tree stroll, enjoying the artists that are there performing, having a great time together. Friday, November 14th. Did I write this down somewhere else? I thought I wrote this down somewhere else. I saw that they bumped up the opening time at Magic Kingdom for resort guests. The park is now opening at 7:30 a.m. instead of 8. Did I get that right? Maybe it's opening at 8 instead of 8:30, but it's bumped up earlier. So I'll confirm all that and send it out. But for those that are going to rope drop, we're going to meet at Casey's Corner inside Magic Kingdom. I'll get the time straight so that we have plenty of time to then go to whatever ride we choose to rope drop, whether that is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Peter Pan or Space Mountain or whatever it may be. I don't care. That Friday morning. 5 o'clock at the Tron sign at the bottom of the ramp to the ride itself. We'll get together for photo. Then for those that are going to be there for the party, the parades are at 8:30 and 11. The 8:30 parade, we will meet over by Country Bear Jamboree in Frontierland. I would say probably 7:45-ish we will meet there. And again, you don't have to, but if you want to watch the parade together, that's where we'll meet for the first parade. Fireworks are at 10, and then the last parade is at 11. I'm probably going to be somewhere on Main Street to watch the parade a second time. PM, yes, PM for the Christmas parade. I will share this. So Dina, you're on. Jessica, you're on. Renee, I don't know if you're still here with us. Cece, you're on. Anthony, you're on. Shayna's not, and myself. Those are the folks that I'm going to put on a group text. If you're going to be there and want to be a part of the group text so you know where we're going to be and what we're doing, send me a message to let me know, and I'll add you to the group text. Renee, who again, she may or may not be on. She was driving home from work earlier. She made a reservation for 6 people at Beak and Barrel at 11:50 p.m., so 10 minutes before midnight, for anybody that would be interested. I'll share that in the group text. I'll just have you respond in the group text if you want to go and be one of the 6 that she's got reservations available for, so you can enjoy Beak and Barrel. Cece, can't wait to see the stage show for the first time. Yeah, absolutely. I know. It's amazing. The whole thing. Christmas is just phenomenal. Okay. Saturday, the 15th, we'll probably meet in front of Epcot, probably about 7:30. Early entries 8:30. They're going to probably let us into that park closer to 8 o'clock. So we'll meet outside at 7:30. We will head to Guardians to rope drop that. And my guess is after that, probably stroll right on over to Test Track because it's right next to it. Then we'll meet for a group photo at Guardians at 11. Luminous is at 9 p.m. I think we'll probably meet those that want to around 8:15. I'm thinking over in Japan on the other side of the World Showcase, and we'll enjoy that. Jessica cannot wait for an elf to tell you that you're naughty. I hope I'm there to witness that. Okay, if you are in Discord, you may or may not have seen this, but I wanted to talk about it real quick before we do our fun stuff. I've been doing this now for about 8 or 9 days. As I think most all of us know, the government's in a shutdown right now, but there are essential job functions that they're still having to work even though they're not getting paid. The ones that are most prevalent to us would be TSA at the airport and air traffic controllers at the airport. There's been, if you watch the news, it's all doom and gloom, and flights are being canceled all over and massive delays and blah, 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 blah. I put out in Discord a link to a website. I've been using this website for about 10 days now. When you put that URL in and go to it, you can then put in the 3-digit airport code. So like for me, I'm flying out of Kansas City. That's MCI. Orlando is MCO. I'm flying through Nashville on my way down there. So I'm also using Nashville's code, BNA. I'm looking at that airline's page at around the time I'd be flying out. So flying out of Kansas City, I think we fly out at 10:30 in the morning. Hey, Karen, welcome in. So every morning for the last 10 days at about 10:30 in the morning, I've been pulling up that website for Kansas City to see how many flight delays there are that day, how many flight cancellations there are. And then I do the same thing around the time that we'd be flying out of Nashville to do the same thing. And then the day we fly home from Orlando, pulling that up. I can tell you, if you just go to that website and don't put in a code, depending on when you do it, you're going to see, 35,000 flight delays and 1,200 flight cancellations. You're going to freak. When you put in the airport code, it gives you a better picture. And it'll tell you the origin airport. So like if it's leaving Kansas City and it's delayed, it would be Kansas City as the origin. If it's a flight coming into Kansas City, it would be under the destinations and Kansas City would be listed. When I've been doing that, it tells a whole different story. Like today, for instance, there were a number of cancellations coming into and out of Orlando. And without any context, you might be worried that there were a dozen flight cancellations. But when you then look at the details, let's say it was a dozen. 11 out of those 12 were flying into or out of Jamaica. Understandable, right? Big hurricane getting ready to hit. So it makes sense that there were cancellations in and out of Jamaica to Orlando. But it just gives you a much better sense of what's happening at the airports. Again, you may not care and you're going to show up at the airport when you're going to show up, and it is what it is. I like details and I like, planning and everything. So I've been doing that for the last week. I do it at work during the day because that's when the flights are. I've got a sheet of paper. I write down every date and the statistics. And so I feel very good right now as to where things stand. The cancellations have been very few and far between. Flight delays happen every single day. I bet if we'd all had that website 3 months ago and looked every single day, it'd probably tell close to the same story that we're seeing right now. So I'm not concerned about it, but I'll keep checking every single day, and I put that out there in case you have any interest in checking that yourself. Renee just rejoined. So Renee, you probably missed out. I did share that in the group text that I'm going to set up. And again, if anybody's not on the group text and wants to be, send me a message, give me your name, give me your phone number, and I'll add you to the group text when I set it up. But in there, Renee, I mentioned that you have that reservation at Beacon Barrel on Friday night, November 14th at 11:50 p.m. And so I'll mention that in the group text and just ask that if anybody is interested in meeting up there, that they just reply in the text and coordinate it with you. So, okay. I think that's everything I had. Did I miss any questions? Okay, Robbie said, reminder that JetBlue comes out of Terminal C. C is in Charlie. It's a really nice terminal and easy access. Yeah, it's like brand new, isn't it, Robbie? Like within, maybe the last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we fly out of Kansas City 2 weeks from tomorrow morning, fly through Nashville, and then on to Orlando. As much as I love direct flights, if I can find something cheap, I mean, this is why we're flying out of Kansas City. The 2 round trip tickets for Laura and I both were like $320, I think, total. It's like $160 round trip per person. If I flew out of Omaha, it'd have been closer to $300 per person. So it made a lot of sense for us to drive down to Kansas City. There is a direct flight from KC to Orlando, and as much as I'd love to have done it, it was like an extra $100. Hey, Ronnie, welcome in. So I'm like, go cheap. I don't mind flying through Nashville. We'll land there probably around lunchtime, so we'll grab lunch and we're good to go. Yeah, you can find decent prices, that's for sure. No doubt about it. So, okay. All right, let's have a little fun. And I'm going to start with some questions for you guys. I have a couple of brackets. We'll do movie brackets here in a little bit to wrap up our night. But let me start with some questions. Hopefully they're fun. First question. What is one ride that you claim to love, but you always skip? I think it's kind of a fun question. You profess your love for the ride with everybody that's listening, but when you're there, you don't ride it. What would that be? And we're all friends here. No hate. Like, Tina, I could claim that I love Mission Space, but I never ride it. And it could be any of the parks. It doesn't have to be Magic Kingdom. Jessica says no skips. Okay, so Jessica, no skips means you're riding Mission Space. Karen wants to love Guardians, but I just can't. I love that. That's awesome. Dina says Snow White Mine Train, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, just because wait time is so long. Isn't that the truth? Renee says, I love the Lion King show, but I've yet to see it this year. Renee, we got to make that happen. Absolutely have to make that happen. I'll be there on that Thursday, the 13th. We're going to go to Animal Kingdom during the day. Blake says Peter Pan, that he claims to love it, but always skips it. I think that is kind of like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Cute rides, but the lines are ridiculous for those two, in my opinion. Disney Dad Bod says Cali River Rapids. Jessica says, I do all things. Now, Jessica, have you ever done Mission Space? Have you ever ridden that? And if so, have you done both green and orange? Helen says, can't answer that. I don't claim to love any. I don't ride. That's fair. That's fair. Renee, my defense, I did go see the Broadway Lion King this year. All right. I do love the Festival of Lion King. That is my favorite daytime show in any of the 4 parks. Karen, I did the original Mission Space and I'll never go back. Yes. I haven't ridden Mission Space in I don't know how many years, Karen. I can't do it anymore. I mean, when I was younger, I could handle it, but not anymore. The older I get, the harder it is for some of those rides. That is for sure. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip the script on the question. What is one ride that you claim to not like, but you never skip it? Do you have that? You tell people I don't like such and such a ride, but you never skip it. Oh, for the first one for me, I think Barnstormer, love it, but we always skip it. Again, that's another one that any wait more than 5 minutes and that ride is not worth waiting for. Blake says Guardians. I assume that was for the first question that you claim to love but always skip, or is that the one that you claim to not like but you never skip? And that could be that you don't like it but you can't skip it. Disney Dadbod says Small World. That was my answer too. That I claim to not like it but I never skip it. It's just classic. It's just a classic. Who Renee says Figment. Claim to not like but never skip. I could see that. Helen, People Mover or Small World. Cece says, I'm doing Jollywood nights. If anyone wants to, let's do a group pick with Chewy. What night are you doing Jollywood, Cece? Lamont says Small World. If you don't ride Small World, were you really in Disney? No kidding. Disney Dad, no kidding. Karen says, there's nothing I don't like except Guardians, but Guardians doesn't like me. Small World is probably yours too, Dina. Dina, you and I connect a lot on these answers. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, Cece, let me know what night are you doing Jollywood? Anyway, okay. You can share that if you'd like. What is one, you can only pick one must-have snack? One must-have snack. I'll give you my answer, but I don't wait till I see some of your guys' answers. Dole Whip is Le Mans must-have. Any special flavor Le Mans or just the traditional? Blake says Mickey Pretzel. Mickey Dad Bob says Mickey M&M Rice Krispie Treat. There you go. Jessica, snack and dessert are different. No, they don't have to be, Jessica. I mean, if you want to give me both a snack and a dessert, you can, but you can treat them the same. Dole Whip says Dana. Traditional Dole Whip Le Mans. I had the last year at Epcot, like an hour after drinking that god-awful pickle shake. I had a watermelon Dole Whip. Wow, was that good. Man, anything watermelon flavored. As a matter of fact, my drink right here is strawberry watermelon lemonade. I can't remember. Custom popcorn, says Renee. Yeah, at the confectionery. Ooh. Anything Mickey shaped, says Helen. I like that answer. Single Dad says Sleepy Hollow Waffle. Yum. Karen, yes, I did say pickle shake. Jessica, snack, turkey leg, dessert, chocolate covered frozen banana. Ooh, yum. So Karen, last year for Dreamstream, we did a fundraiser to raise money for the Kidney Cancer Association, since I'm a 2-time kidney cancer survivor. I absolutely, unequivocally despise, I got to slide the puzzle piece over. I despise, oops, I got another puzzle piece. Hang on. Get in there. There we go. I absolutely despise pickles, all things pickles. Can't stand them. But made the decision to take a bite out of a pickle if we raised a certain amount of money for the Kidney Cancer Association. And I mean, I thought I was setting the bar high at $1,000. We eclipsed 1,000. And on like the last day of fundraising, a couple people donated giveaways. And we raised, it was an insane amount of money in like 10 minutes. It was crazy. But anyway, we ended up hitting $3,000. And so in addition to doing the pickle on our opening evening together, the day before at Epcot, I said, well, since we hit $3,000, I'll try the pickle shake. It's like a vanilla shake, but it had, I don't know, pickle flavoring or something in it. That was brutal. I thought I was going to lose my cookies drinking that thing. I was sweating. Karen, I'm with you on pickle things. That's a big no. Yeah. Look, Karen, if it wasn't for the kindness of people that donated money towards Kidney Cancer Association, I would have never done it. But I, look, I don't want to get too wound up in this and emotional, but I'm a 2-time kidney cancer survivor. I'm proud of that. But I'm reminded every day of the challenges that people have. And no matter how hard it was for me during those points in time, somebody always had it harder. And so to drink that pickle shake or take a bite out of that god awful pickle to raise that kind of money to go towards maybe preventing the next person from ever having to have kidney cancer or to help offset cost of treatment, whatever it was well worth it. Absolutely. Jessica, you are not delivering a freaking jar of pickles to me. That's not happening. So anyway, if I start talking about it, I'll get choked up, and I wasn't planning on crying tonight, so I got to keep that up. Dina says, I like the coconut Dole Whip. I don't think I've ever had that one. Okay, so mine was, Blake, you said it, Mickey pretzel with the cheese. I mean, I know some people don't like the cheese. It's like plastic to them, but I love it. Dip, yum. Jessica, I'm telling you, keep those pickles away from me. Keep them away. Anyway, okay. What of the resorts you've stayed at? Oh yeah. Helen says, I promise I didn't share about National Pickle Day with Jessica. I think, Helen, is it on the 14th or was it the 13th? One of those two dates, either the 13th or 14th, is National Pickle Day. I'm like, I'm not celebrating. It's not happening. It's not happening. Jessica says, coconut Dole Whip, ? Yeah, I guess so. Helen can't remember either. We'll say it's the, I don't know, 13th, 14th, doesn't matter. We're not celebrating. Period. End of story. Done. But yeah, I love the cheese with the Mickey pretzel. I'm down with that any day of the week. Okay. Of the Disney resorts you've stayed in, what is your favorite? Favorite Disney resort that you've stayed in? Can't be one that you've not stayed in. And if you only stayed in one of them, then that's your favorite. If you've not stayed in one, don't answer because my next question will line up for you. Jessica needs a pickle costume. You've knocked your socks off. Karen, I knew you would say Beach Club. She is partial to Beach Club. Not a problem. Coronado, Robbie. Coronado Springs is a beautiful, beautiful resort. And probably one of the most, Blake asked, what was the question again? Of the Disney resorts you've stayed in, what is your favorite? And if you've never stayed in a Disney resort, don't answer because the next question will hit that. Okay, so Jessica Dina says yes, as far as the coconut Dole Whip. Sometimes they have that at Aloha Isle in Magic Kingdom. Jessica says Coronado is amazing. Disney Dad Bod says Grand Floridian. Jessica says ugh. I'm guessing that's about the coconut Dole Whip. All things that you cannot eat. Ooh, I'm sorry, Jessica. Polynesian says Dina. So for me, of the ones I've stayed at, it's a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Pop Century. Okay, Blake said Old Key West. Jillian says Animal Kingdom. I've stayed at Old Key West. I've been to Animal Kingdom. Beautiful, love them. You guys know this. I'm like King Skyliner. And so Pop Century to me is perfect. It's on the Skyliner route. It's the least expensive of the Skyliner route resorts. I don't spend much time at the resort. We're at the park from rope drop to park close. So Pop Century for me is the one. Helen says Pop Century over Grand Floridian. Those are the only two she stayed at. So there you go. I like that. Okay. Now we'll flip the switch. And so if you've never stayed on property, you can answer this. And if you have stayed on property, the question will fit here. Robbie says, I was at Pop Century a couple days ago. It looked like they're finishing reservations on front of us. Yeah, They've been doing a lot of reno there in the last year or so, Robbie. Love it. One of the cool things I love about Pump Century, now they may not be doing it right now because of the renovations at the front desk, but usually every evening, I think it's around 6 o'clock, the cast members behind the counter, they all come out and they dance to a song. When we were there a couple of years ago, happened to be there around 6 p.m., and Michael Jackson's Thriller came on, and they all came out and had a dance routine for Thriller. It was awesome. Just absolutely loved it. I've seen them do others in the past as well. So very fun. Okay. So what is your dream resort that you would like to stay in but never have? So if you stayed on property, you got to pick a resort you've never been to. If you haven't stayed on property, you can pick a resort. What is your dream resort that you want to stay in? So Karen, I know you're partial beach club, but you got to pick another one. Polly in the Bungalow, says Renee. That's a hard one to pass up. Polly says Helen. Lamont says Grand Floridian. Robbie says Polynesian Bungalow. Renee says answer the first question. I'm not sure what animal. Okay, I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Animal. Okay. Dina says contemporary. Bungalow, says Jessica, but also the Floridian. Karen, I think I've stayed almost all of them except New Riviera. So there you go. Riviera it is. Cinderella Castle Room. Yes, Jessica. Blake says Grand Floridian. For me, I've been over to this resort several times, gone inside, eaten a Safari View. Jessica, yes, can't go wrong with Safari View at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I love the grandness of Wilderness Lodge. I think it's beautiful, very rustic. Love that place. I would love to stay there sometime. I had the stat somewhere, and I wish I could remember where I put it. It was Jessica said all the resorts, all the rooms. If you spent one night in each room in each resort on the Disney property, it's like 40 years or something insane, that it would take you like 40 years to spend one night in every room of every resort on Disney property. I'll have to find that again. It's crazy. Jessica, I can't pick just one. My next 409 trips are planned. There you go. That's awesome. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be kind of a two-parter, kind of. Well, no, the question is this: have you ever done Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? But here's where it branches off. If the answer is yes, what tips would you have for somebody who's never done it? And if your answer is no, what are you most excited about? So again, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party that a lot of us are doing on November 14th. If you've never done a Christmas party, what are you most excited about? And if you have done it, what are some tips that you would give to somebody who's never been? Karen says, yes, don't skip the special shows. Jessica says, no, and I'm excited to see Ruby's experience with it. I love that answer. Love it. Helen says, yes, do all the party exclusives. Helen, were you cheating? Did you look at my notes today? Robbie says, yes, go on your favorite ride during the first parade. So Robbie's suggestion there is spot on. If you're interested in hit, like say Tron, if that's your favorite ride and want to hit it, most people go to the first parade, especially if they have little kids with them, because sometimes little kids sack out by the time the second parade happens. And so the ride lines are shorter during the first parade. But, and I'm not shooting your idea down by any stretch, Robbie, but it is somewhat of a roll of the dice, right? Because it's Florida. If it starts raining by the time the second parade is to come around and it does not stop raining, there won't be a second parade and you will have missed it. So just keep that in mind. Or if you're like me, I'm watching both parades from start to finish. Doesn't matter. So I would miss out on Robbie's suggestion, but it's a great idea. Helen, the reason why I asked if you cheated and read my notes is because I actually wrote this down. If yes, tips. do the party exclusives, which is exactly what Helen said. Um, to do the party exclusives because the parade, for instance, you're not going to see that parade on a normal park day. The Frozen stage show, you're not going to see that. Um, the Snow on Main Street, things like that that are unique to the party, you'll miss out on a normal park day. Make sure you bring a light sweater. It does get cool sometimes. Last year was 40 during my party. Yeah, that's a great comment, Robbie. You definitely want to know what the weather's going to be like, and even like shoot, if it's going to be 60 for a low, and you're from up north, that might sound balmy, but it still gets cool. 60 is cooler than you think. Helen said, when we went, we didn't know anything, and I feel like I missed a lot. During our party, it was Under Armour and winter coat cold. Now, come on, Helen. So, us Northerners, that's what I love to go to Disney in January, and I hope when we're there that it's quote unquote cold because the locals stay home. They don't come to the parks when it's cold. And so, for us Northerners, love it. Robbie says, bring a suitcase just for the cookies. Yes, make your way around and get the free cookies throughout the day. Jessica, getting hoodie, sweater there. I might have to buy pants to wear too instead of our skirts. That could be a possibility. Helen said I had all these cute shirts and was covered up with a coat. So I'm not there. No coats happening with me. I will bring my long sleeve jersey, spirit jersey. I have a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt that I'll bring, and then I have like kind of like Under Armour long sleeve that I'll put those on and put my Disney t-shirts on over top if I have to. That's for sure. Hey, Norma, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. How have you been? It's really good to see you. Helen, it was December, like 2 weeks before Christmas 2017. I remember being there in January once, and it was like in the 50s for highs, and we had to buy clothes because we didn't pack for highs in the 50s. It was chilly for sure. Okay, my last question before we do a couple bracket selections. What is one? You can only pick one must-have gift each trip you go. Renee says, when I was there beginning of January, the day we left, it was just as cold in Orlando as it was in Vancouver. Oof. Now that's what Renee, I don't know. Do you say that's cold in Orlando, or do you say that's really warm in Vancouver? That might just be crazy warm in Vancouver. Norma, surviving hating the cold with my asthma kicking in. I understand that for sure. Absolutely understand that. Single day, we started getting Christmas tree ornaments in Magic Kingdom. Helen, gift, you mean souvenir? Yeah, souvenir, gift, whatever, however you want to call it. I wrote down the word gift, but yeah, I guess it would be souvenir, probably more so. Norma freaks out with 60s. This time, it was 50 today. I think it's going to be 50 tomorrow here, so 60s would feel pretty nice. Karen said it used to be mugs, but I'm out of room. Helen is Mickey ears. Renee, am I going to have to bring my converter with me when I have conversations with you? So on the YouTube side, Renee said it was about 9 degrees Celsius on both places. I got to bring my converter because you know us Americans, we don't do that Celsius and metric system type stuff. So I'll have to bring my converter to keep connected with you. Thanks, Renee. Just under 50. Dina says Christmas ornament. Norma, how have you been? Good to see you as well. Thank you so much. I am fantastic. 2 weeks from right now, I will be in Kansas City, Missouri, spending the night at a hotel right hop, skip, and a jump away from the airport. Because 2 weeks from tomorrow, I'm flying to Disney for a week. And I'm excited, super excited. I will do some streaming while we're down there. I won't stream the whole time because it's also my vacation, but I'm sure I'll stream parades, daytime parades, nighttime parades, the Christmas party parade on 14th. If we do Jollywood, I'll probably stream some of that as well. Renee, pins are her one must bring back home. Hey, Madeline Elias, how are you? Good to see you guys. Robbie said Christmas popcorn at confectionery. Yum. For me, it's we bring a Christmas tree ornament home every year. Always, always, always. And sometimes it's more than one. We get one at the Christmas tree store in Magic Kingdom. We'll look in the shops in the other parks as well, and usually bring some back with us for sure. Madeline Elias, I am outstanding, doing amazing, super duper. Renee, but I also go a little crazy on merchandise. I usually get a new Disney Parks Loungefly, a pair of ears, and a pass holder T-shirt. Wow, Renee! And then you can put it all in the new Loungefly, right? I see where you get the Loungefly. So you pack it all in there. Okay, yeah, Christmas tree ornament for us, definitely, always, always, always. But there's some great gifts or souvenirs, gifts, whatever you want to call them, that you can get. All right, guys, ready to play bracket? So if you're new here, first, thank you for joining. Hopefully you'll hang out with us. Sometimes we do pick them, but I do it like bracket style, kind of like March Madness. I'll hold it up here and I'll hold it up over here, kind of like March Madness. If you ever see the brackets and you make your picks and all that jazz. And so I have a couple of those for tonight. You just have to answer the question. I'll write down your picks and keep track of them as we go from each to each. So I only have two of them for tonight. So let's start with the first one. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay. So if you want to play, first round, I'll ask everybody because it's the same matchups. And you pick, and I'll write your name down to one of these brackets and your answer, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. The first one is characters from the movie Monsters, Inc. Are you taking Mike Wazowski or the Abominable Snowman? Mike W. or Abominable Snowman? And if you're picking Abominable Snowman, by all means, feel free to abbreviate that bad boy. Karen is first in. She goes Mike Wazowski. Helen goes Mike Wazowski. Renee, I can always count on Renee. She's going abominable, not abominable. Abominable Snowman. Lamont goes Snowman. Dina goes Mike Wazowski. Robbie goes Mike W. Jessica's getting Ruby to bed. Okay. Thanks, Jessica, for hanging out tonight. Have a good evening. Appreciate you as always. All right. Anybody else? Dina, got you. Blake, are you in? Are you playing? Anybody else on the TikTok side? If you want to play, you're picking either Mike Wazowski or the Abominable Snowman. I'll give it about 30 more seconds, and then we'll move on to the next matchup. All right, next pick. Are you taking Randall or are you taking Boo? Randall or Boo? It's up to you. Karen says Boo. Renee says Boo. Helen says Boo. Sounds like a lot of crying going on here. Robbie says Boo. Lamont says Boo. And Dina, what's... Oh, there it is. Dina says Boo. All right, I think I got our picks. Okay, next round. Are you taking Roz or are you taking Celia? Celia would be Mike Wazowski's girlfriend with the snake hair. Roz or Celia? Renee says Roz. Roz says Helen and be right back. We just got home and I got to get in and settle. Okay. Helen says Roz. Dina says Roz. Lamont says Roz. I think I saw some. Karen says tough one, but she goes with Roz. And Robbie goes with Celia. Robbie. Renee says Roz. I got that one. I think I got everybody's. Yes. Lon says Roz. Got it. Okay. And the last pick of this round, I might have to pick for Helen. Are you taking Renee has the neatest Roz pins to trade. I've got that's cool. I love that. I want to see those. Okay. Are you taking Waternoose or are you taking Sullivan? Waternoose or Sully? Helen, I made the pick for you. You'll have to live with my judgment. Karen says Sully. Robbie says Sully. Lamont, Sully. Dina, Sully. What say you, Renee? Waternoose or Sully? Sully. Okay. All right. Now we have special matchups because you've each made your selection. So, Karen, you're up first. You're over here. Karen, you're up first. Are you taking Mike Wazowski or are you taking Boo? This is where the picks get harder, I think. Renee, you're up next. Karen says, oh, man. See? This is the beauty of it. Mike Wazowski or Boo. And I won't tell either one of them, Karen. So she's going to go with Boo. All right. Renee, you are taking either the Abominable Snowman or Boo. And Dina, you're up next. I'm going to go Helen last. Hopefully she'll be settled back in and she can make her next pick. Renee goes with Snowy, the Abominable Snowman. I like that pick. Dina, Mike Wazowski or Boo. Everybody picked Boo. I love it for your first round. No love for Randall. Dina says Boo. Okay, Robbie, it's your turn now. Robbie, you're up. Mike Wazowski or Boo. Lamont, you're up next. Boo, says Robbie. Lamont, do you have the Abominable Snowman or Boo? Boo, says Lamont. Helen, have you returned? I will pause for 30 seconds to see if Helen's back. If not, I'll make the pick for her. Helen, if you are here, it's Mike Wazowski or Boo. And then Karen, I'm coming back to you again for your next pick. All right, I'm going to pick for her. Karen, you're picking Roz or Sully. They are getting tougher. That's the beauty of this thing. What makes it so fun to do. Roz or Sully? Sully. Renee, you are up. Roz or Sully. And Dina, you have the same pick, Roz or Sully. Renee says Roz. Renee, I love when you play these games because you end up with matchups that I never in my wildest dreams would expect us to have. Dina says Sully. Okay. Robbie, you are up next. Are you taking Celia or are you taking Sully? And Lamont, you're up after Robbie. Celia or Sully for Robbie. Robbie goes Celia. I would have never expected that. Okay, Lamont, you are picking Roz or Sully. Lamont says Sully. Helen, are you back? If you are, you're taking either Roz or Sully. I'm going to guess she's not back, so I'm going to make her pick for her, and we'll surprise her with what she picked. All right, Karen, we're into the finals. Are you taking? You're watching from Disney tonight here, and you're doing this with us from Disney. Oh, that's sweet. You're taking either Boo or Sully. Karen, who are you? Who is your winner in this bracket style Monsters Inc. character picks? Sully for the win for Karen. And that's really kind of you to be watching us, doing this with us from Disney. Okay, Renee, you are up next. Abominable Snowman or Roz for the win. What say you, Renee? Snowy. I guess when you're from Canada, you have to pick that, right, Renee? Is that how that works? All right, Dina, you're up next. Boo or Sully? And Robbie, you're up next for your final pick. You don't get snow where you live? Wow. Dina says boo. You don't really? Wow. Okay. Robbie, you are taking either Boo or Celia. Another Renee-like matchup that I never expected to say in the finals. Boo or Celia? Which do you pick, Robbie? Boo. Robbie goes Boo. We have two Boo winners so far. Lamont, you're a Boo or Sully? Lamont says Sully. Helen, are you back yet? We literally had 1 day of snow last winter. It stayed cold enough for a week for it to stick around. Then it melted and we were into spring. Wow, that's crazy, Renee. All right, Helen, I made your pick for you. So here we go. Karen, your winner is Sully. Renee, your winner is the Abominable Snowman. Dina, you have Boo as your winner. Robbie, you have Boo as your winner. Lamont, you have Sully as your winner. And Helen has Mike Wazowski as her winner. I might got to pick Mike, right? That's just the way it works. All right. I got one more for us. If you guys want to hang on and play for a few more minutes, we'll do one more. It'll be just short picks like this one. We're doing classic Disney animated movies for these selections. So this is for everybody for first round. Again, you are picking either, and Robbie, I know where you're going to go with this one. You have to run. Okay. All right, Robbie, we'll see you. The first pick was going to be Snow White or Sleeping Beauty, Robbie. I know which one you pick. So for everybody else, Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. Robbie, thanks for joining. It was good to see you, buddy. And hopefully you notated all the stuff we got planned on that 13th, 14th, and 15th. Love to see you guys. Absolutely love to see you. Karen says Snow White. Lamont says Sleeping Beauty. Dina, Snow White. Renee, Sleeping Beauty. Lost Robbie and Helen hasn't come back yet. I'll play for Helen. What the heck? Okay. Your next pick. Are you taking Cinderella or are you taking Dumbo? Cinderella or Dumbo? I'll make Helen's pick. Karen takes Cinderella. She says that was her daughter's all-time favorite. I love that reason. Absolutely love that reason. Lamons says Cinderella. Renee says Dumbo. Dina says Cinderella. Okay. All right. And next one, heading over to the other side. Are you going to take Lady and the Tramp or Peter Pan? Lady and the Tramp or Peter Pan? Helen, you're making some great picks if you've come back. Norma, Sleeping Beauty is my daughter's all-time favorite princess. I love that, Norma. I think she flies under the radar. I don't think a lot of people think of her compared to some of the other princesses by any stretch. Lamont says Peter Pan. Renee says Peter Pan. Dina says Peter Pan. Helen, I wasn't going to leave you if that's what you mean. No, I wasn't sure if you were back yet or not, Helen. I've been making your picks for you. The last game you picked Mike Wazowski over Sully for your winner. It was very kind of you, Helen, to pick Mike. But Helen, what we're doing now is you can pick Lady and the Tramp or Peter Pan for your pick. And I think, Karen, did you make your pick yet? If you did, I missed it. Nope, I don't see it. Karen, you're picking either Lady and the Tramp or Peter Pan. Yeah, Helen, you missed out. I picked Sully over Roz for you, and then Mike Wazowski for the win. Helen, you are picking movie either Lady and the Tramp or Peter Pan. Oh, Karen, you think it's being censored. So just do initials. Do LT for Lady and the Tramp or do PP for Peter Pan. Lady and the Tramp, says Karen. And what say you, Helen? I should probably go back and let Helen make the other picks too. Helen says Lady and the Tramp. Okay. Helen, let me get your other two picks. Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. Do that. And then we'll go to there's two more for Helen, then we'll get back to everybody. So Snow White or Sleeping Beauty? Helen. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Snow, says Helen. Okay. And then Helen, the other one is Dumbo or Cinderella. Karen, I always try to find things that are just, I guess, fun and entertaining, but engaging. I like the interaction a lot, and I like to do something that's, I hope that's kind of different and not just what you can find everywhere. Okay. Helen, you're caught up. So now the last pick for everybody. Are you taking 101 Dalmatians or are you taking Pinocchio? That was his nose growing. Did you know it makes that sound? When his nose grows? Nose grows. 101. Karen says 101. 101 says Helen. 101 says Renee. Lamons and Dina, what say you? 101 Dalmatians or Pinocchio? Lamont says Pinocchio. And Dina says 101. All right, here we go. Karen, you're up first. Snow White or Cinderella? Dina, you have the same pick, Snow White or Cinderella. And Helen, you have the same one, Snow White or Cinderella. So the three of you, Karen, Dina, Helen, Snow White or Cinderella? Karen says, oh no, that was not a choice. You have to pick one of my two. Sorry, that's the rules. I don't write the rules. I just make you follow them. Dina, that was your answer from last one. Okay. Snow White or Cinderella? Karen, Dina, and Helen. Cinderella says Karen. Cinderella says Helen. I do write the rules. That's right. Thank you, Helen. And Dina says Snow White. Okay. On the other side of the bracket, Lamons, you have Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella. Renee, you have Sleeping Beauty or Dumbo. And Renee, you were the only one that picked Dumbo. Lamons goes Cindy. Sleeping Beauty says Renee. There went Dumbo. Poor Dumbo. I would pick Dumbo for one reason only, and if any of you guys ever got to see him do it, I know you'd pick Dumbo too. My little grandson Briggs, who's 2, every time he sees an elephant on TV, it's just the cutest thing ever. Okay, I digress. All right, Karen, back to you. Lady and the Tramp. So you do LT or 101 Dalmatians. LT or 101. It's super cute. He does that. Just love it. Love it, love, love it. Need to take him and have him be selected to do the elephant at Lion King. All right. Lady and the Tramp says Karen. Dina, Peter Pan or 101 Dalmatians? I'm abbreviating everything. So I wrote down PP. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh yeah, Peter Pan. And then Helen, you have Lady and the Tramp or 101 Dalmatians. So Dina, Peter Pan or 101 Dalmatians. Helen, Lady and the Tramp or 101 Dalmatians. Dina goes Peter Pan. And Helen says Helen's still laughing at my elephant sounds. While I'm waiting for Helen's answer, Lamons, you're up. Peter Pan or Pinocchio. And Renee, you have Peter Pan or 101 Dalmatians. Renee says 101. Lamont says Pinocchio. Helen, what do you say? Helen, it's Lady and the Tramp or 101 Dalmatians. 101. I almost just spit meds everywhere. Thank you, Mike. Look, you have to factor in an hour and a half with me of laughing. Wait a minute. Helen said 101. I'm LT. I said it wrong. Okay. All right. Yes, I hope, honestly, seriously, I hope you guys do get to smile and giggle a little when we get together and do this every Monday night. Okay. It's time for the finals. Karen, you are up first. Cinderella or Lady and the Tramp? I think I know what Karen's going to pick. Cinderella. I thought so. Dina, you are up next. Helen, all I hear is Gus singing, Gus singing Cinderella, Cinderella. I'm not singing it. Dina, Snow White or Peter Pan? The only Snow White to make the finals was Dina's. Snow White or Peter Pan? That's the beauty of it, Karen. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, right? So they say. Dina goes with Peter Pan. There goes Snow White out the window. Helen, are you picking Cinderella, Cinderella, or are you picking Lady and the Tramp in their spaghetti dinner? Spaghetti sounds kind of good. I had calzones for dinner tonight. Norma, what is the game called again? I just do a bracket picks. Norma, I'll come up with a category and I'll create the brackets myself. So they kind of, I just scribble them down. They look like this, and then I'll give you the matchup, and you have to pick one or the other, and then I fill in the brackets for you along the way. We do this usually every week. Sometimes it's character, sometimes it's movies, sometimes it might be rides, sometimes it might be shows. I just try to change it up with the different categories. Helen, you got to go with the doggies, Lady and the Tramp. So yeah, Norma, it's just a fun way to, force you to pick one over the other type of thing, and we have a good time with it. So I usually do this every Monday night. And I'll talk about my schedule here in a minute. Let's finish this real quick, and then I'll do that. Renee, you are up. Are you taking Sleeping Beauty or 101 Dalmatians? Now, Helen, if you're going with the doggies, you should have picked 101 Dalmatians over Lady and the Tramp. A lot of doggies in 101, but that's okay. Renee goes 101. I had a Dalmatian when I was a kid growing up. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Lamons, you're the final one. Cinderella or Pinocchio? Are you going to the ball, or are you going to lie about it? Lamons is going to the ball with Cinderella. Her name is Gracie. My Dalmatian's name was Duchess. Love the dogs and the music in that movie, Renee. Yes, absolutely. Okay, Norma, you asked about this game, whatever, and I try to do this every Monday night. Today is Monday, October 27th. It's the last time we'll get together in the month of October. Can you guys believe that? It blows my mind. Blows my mind. Next Monday will be November 3rd. We will get back together again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern to do this. And then I will be off the next 2 Monday nights because I'll be in Kansas City getting ready to hop on a plane the next morning, and I'll be at Disney on the, if I can do my math, the 17th. Yeah. So I'll try to come up with my plan for when I think I will stream while we're down there, and I'll share that with all of you guys next week when we get back together. I usually stream the parades because I'm not talking anyway during the parades. So I can just, stream it. And you guys can watch the parades. I might stream the fireworks, daytime parades, nighttime parades, fireworks. And we'll see after that. Might be here and there, depending upon what we're doing. But I'll try to come up with some schedule, if you will, and share that next Monday night with everybody. But we love to see it. I'll look for you. Are you going to be down there, Karen, when we're there in November? And again, for anybody, if you're going to be down there, come join us on Thursday, November 13th at Disney Springs. We'd love to have you join us. And maybe, Karen, you'd love to see it if I'm streaming. Gotcha. Coming back till December. I see. I gotcha. Yeah. So I know Wednesday, November 12th, we'll be at Magic Kingdom that day. So I'll do the parade at 2:00. And then I'll do the nighttime parades. Probably going to watch both of them because I've never seen either one of them live. I don't think I've seen one streamed live from start to finish. I've caught bits and pieces, but I just want to wait until I can be down there to see it for the whole time. Karen, unless you can find a room, I'd love to have you down there with us. That'd be awesome. Helen, yes, Halloween, Friday, Halloweeny weenie. Santa will be making his appearance here to hand out candy. We're going to see if Little Briggs likes Santa this year or not. He did not like Santa last year. I know, Karen, I'm so happy that they have a nighttime parade again. I wish upon all sorts of wishes that they would bring back the parades to the other three parks. I loved the parades. I really adored when they had them at the other parks. Helen, you're going to be in M and I'm going to guess M. M and M? Because I don't know what an M and what else it could be. I'll probably eat lots of M&Ms, although we don't have any M&Ms. Yeah, that. Okay. So yeah, we'll get back together next Monday, November 3rd, have some fun, play some games, talk about Park Life Live. I'll hopefully have kind of my agenda of what I think when I'll stream and share that with all of you guys. And would love for you to join me while I'm down there. That'd be awesome. And I'm really excited to see some of you, Renee, Dina, over on this side. I know Anthony and Jessica were on. I'll be getting to see you guys here in a couple weeks. I'm excited. You're going to give me one guess of what color, Helen. Helen is going to be an M&M for Halloween. I get to pick one color. Helen, you should know what color I will pick. I will pick it whether I think it's going to be the one that you would be or not. And I'm picking orange. It will always be orange for me. Orange is the color for kidney cancer. And so I will always pick orange. And it is, Renee said orange. Yeah, Helen, I know you don't like orange. But I'm still picking orange. If you say green, like pickle, you're getting booted. That's all I got to say, Helen. I'm kidding. Gang, let's wrap it up. We've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes. I always tell my blue is your best friend is red. All your best friends are gonna be red, are gonna be blue. I like that. So let's wrap up. Again, if you're new here, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Or if you haven't done this frequently, really enjoyed having you hang out. We'll be back again next Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Talk Disney. We'll play games. I like the interaction and having fun with you guys more than anything else. And then we'll talk about the Park Life Live. So thank you for joining. I really appreciate you giving up some of your evening to hang out with me. We'll do it again next week. Hope you have a good night. And as always, when you wake up tomorrow, it will be a great day to be alive. We will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.